Travis Wingetzel. Last night, I turned off the computer, was going to go to bed, changed the calendar to today's date with Ducky, and saw that there's a new moon, which is this evening. And so I knew that it's the start of the new Jewish month. And so the memory came to mind to make sure to check the Jewish calendar for the 8th month of the religious calendar, 2nd month of the civil calendar, and see if there's anything going on. But I turned off the computer, so I thought I'll get it in the morning. So the morning came and turned it on as usual, and started the usual routine, and forgot to check the Urim and Thummim for the new month. And I went and checked the news and saw that ABC4 News Utah has been ordered by the church to again put pressure on Mormons to stay away from porn. It's hilarious because it was only one segment on YouTube, but the thumbnail picture was used for 2 other news stories. Oh my God, hilarious. And so yes, the church is still pushing it. They will not let go. And so I was going to do a whole video again explaining to you the sexual abuse of the church, and they're protesting too much and vilifying women, and technically the images of a woman, because it has nothing to do with the actual woman and seeing her naked. It's just an image of a woman that is dangerous and harmful and makes changes in the frontal lobe of the brain. And I saw as I scanned over it that they're showing a brain. It's the same old false arguments. They will not stop. Because in science, real science, not pseudoscience fields such as psychology and religion, when you run a test for a theory and it comes up false, you're supposed to dismiss it. You're not supposed to keep beating it with a stick until it comes back to life. It failed. Try something else. Like the light bulb. 100,000 times or whatever it took him. Finally, he got it. Because he did something else. He didn't run the same test over and over and over again, hoping this is going to be it. This is going to be it. Oh, we just got to have faith in the Lord. Trust in Jesus. Have a positive attitude. We'll get it. No, it doesn't work. Try something else. And psychologists don't do this because their whole premise is fallacy arguments. Thus, their conclusions are false. They need to drop them and move on, find something else. I recommend Plato. Platonic psychology. Specifically from the allegory of the cave. That is true psychology. They won't do that because then they won't have clients. They kind of need to create a problem in order to get clients to pay their bills. because it's a whole fraudulent field. And so thus, the claims about how a woman's body is evil and harmful and will murder us, and we need to ban it and cover them up and hide them barefoot, pregnant, and in the kitchen. Not even doing try-on videos. So anyway, having summed that up for you, if in case we don't get to it, we're about to die. So it's kind of important to try to save as many lives as I can. And since I've only saved one Idaho chick, well, I guess the Jewish God is trying to indicate to me that there's another Mormon out there whom YouTube is just preventing from seeing my videos, and so that hopefully they'll eventually find me. But nonetheless, I am deeply humiliated that I didn't catch this. But there's a reason why I didn't catch this. It's not on the Jewish calendar. It's an alternative Feast of Tents, back to back. And because it was the northern tribes that this second one is recorded in 1 Kings, that the Jews considers them apostate, anti-Mormon, antichrist whores. So they don't acknowledge it in their calendar. But it's there in Bible. In 1 Kings, which is also 3rd Kings. Remember 3rd Nephi? As the name title given to every king of the Nephites. 4 books of Nephi kings. There are 4 books of kings. 1st and 2nd Samuel are 1st and 2nd Kings. And so, let me go over it for you. I'm kicking myself. And yes, I'm also sighing and going, oh crap. We're going further into overtime in game number 5. Apparently the Dodgers had to let them win 1 game rather than being a complete blowout in 4. Yes, go Dodgers. But nonetheless, see, the Jewish God hates this church. I mean, seriously. And so Nelson, if you're listening, I hope you remember your little stunt last week. In a coming day, Curse of Joseph Smith, it's still coming. I did not check the church news this morning. Crap. I'm wondering if they pulled the stunt again. Thursdays at 10 a.m. is their weekly meeting where they give out assignments and discuss my latest video on YouTube. And panic and figure out how to force ABC 4 News Utah or the church news to stick it to me. Yep, Temple Square renovation update. We already got it at conference. That was it? That's it. Oh my God. And so, yeah, I see another psycho thing on the church's end. Self-reliance profiles, learning emotional resilience will change your life. No, that's not what the Book of Mormon teaches. False doctrine of psychology. Oh, God. And psychology is all about behavioral control. And so they're saying, yes, fall for the self-fulfilling prophecies of psychology. You might as well just go to Louisiana, where the fortune tellers will do the same thing to you. They use the same exact tactics as psychologists. It's one and the same. But they're not going to tell you that porn is evil. They're going to do another form to get you. So frustrating. And so, yeah, they had their meeting and nothing in the church news that evening. And then, boom, the next morning, as the employee showed up for work, he already knew from yesterday, because they get out probably at 15 after 10 because they're all old and senile and need to go home to bed, taking all their jars of pills because they're on their deathbeds. But regardless of when they got out, because sometimes it'll go overtime, 1 p.m., maybe even 2, if there's some big stuff that needs to be talked about, like the coming of Jesus. Or the latest filing in my lawsuit that sent Holland to the hospital. Hilarious. Good times. We're all gonna die. And so they come out and say, Nelson is gonna still be alive because tabernacles came and went. He's not dead yet. He's getting better. On the 7th? Somehow that doesn't seem right. That would be a Thursday, not the Sunday that I saw in the article. I'm not going to bother to... I mean, maybe I've got it here in the files still. Come to me, let me put my arms around you. This was meant to be. Yeah. No. Doesn't give me the date. I had to click on the article. President Russell M. Nelson will dedicate the Deseret Peak, Utah Temple, 200th worldwide. So they already knew that from the meeting. That's what it was discussed in the meeting, that Nelson will be the one to dedicate the 200th temple. That's what they were discussing in their meeting last Thursday. And as a result, not have it. So we got Holland. See, there's the BYU research. Anybody watch that video where I just put the picture and then my comments? The Lord's manner of prostitution improves mental health in youth. Oh my God. This could be it because it's right after the Nelson picture. November 10th, yeah. It is on the Sunday. Oh my God. Just utterly hilarious that they waited until after tabernacles came and went, and then the next morning they had ordered their employee to finally put it up in the church news. Nelson didn't die, Travis. He's still living. And if you remember, I did the videos explaining that the pattern of deaths of each and every single president since Brigham Young indicates that either today, if it's going to be from the last solar eclipse, or at the very latest that I was willing to tolerate, running the scientific test, would be the 23rd of November because of the end of Sukkot on the 22nd, wasn't it? Or no, it would be the 23rd because October had 31 days. 24th for the 23rd. Because that's in accordance with the pattern. And I told you that I'd be pissed and I wouldn't accept it if it was during Hanukkah, which is at the end of December. It doesn't fit the pattern, and it won't make sense to have all the patterns confirmed as factual and then just the Jewish God quits at the end. Doesn't make sense. What are you doing to me? And so, yeah, I found out as I went to check and saw the Jewish month, and then I thought, okay, I got inspired to check the month and what special events occur during this month and blah blah blah, and then saw, boom, right there at the top picture, the flood of Noah is this month. And I went, oh crap. How did I miss this? It's because it's the Israelites, not the Jews. There are 2 Feasts of Tents. That's what my dream was on 9/11 at 3 in the morning. My sleep is going back to normal. Thank you for asking. For the Feast of Tabernacles, every single morning, I'm up at 1. Yes, I went back to bed, but I'm waking up at 1 in the morning. Every single day. It ended, boom, back to my normal waking up at 3 or 4. Huh. Interesting. What was that about? But did the video about, on the 3rd day, about Samuel with Eli at the temple. Did that one for you. But YouTube has shut me down. Worse than ever. Because they know about the danger I pose to the leaders of the church. And their law of sacrifice, with the penalty of death, they've got to protect the church from all criminal prosecution and exposure of their corruption and lies. So Noah, as this week, they didn't have anything in the church news. So are you paying attention, Nelson? It's coming. It's coming. And this is what we're going to discuss. Matthew chapter 24, verse 36. A dumbass Christian inserted, but that of that day and hour no man knoweth, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. No, everybody knows. It's all right there. They just gave you the dates. In verse 30, but even further back, verse 29, immediately after the tribulation of those days, shall the sun be darkened. That's a precise day and hour. All astronomers know them, from the beginning of the earth to the end of the earth. Even without the earth, they know them. Because it's math, an established fact. Whereas the psycho on Lethal Weapon said that nothing is absolute. Yeah. Math is absolute. Physics calculus for astronomy is absolute. That's how the ancients knew of the dates for the latter days and put them in the Jewish scriptures. Stole them from the Egyptians, but only the Book of Mormon we want to complain about being plagiarized. And so then he got the sign of the Son of Man on 8 April 2024. In the clouds of heaven, from Revelation chapter 12, verses 11 and 17, with the Lamb in the Ram constellation. Jupiter, Revelation 12. Virgo conceives Jupiter and bears Jupiter. She's clothed with the sun, the moon under her feet. In Leo, there's 3 planets, so that there's a total of 12. And then God is sitting on his throne in Ophiuchus, Saturn, the father of Jupiter. All people knew it back in 2017. And nobody knew anything else since, except for me. It's my #1 video. That video showing that I am a prophet and a revelator, so that Mormons can judge me. My YouTube channel got shut down after that because the prophets didn't like it. Crap. We didn't believe the Jews. We knew they were right about the dates from astronomy, but we didn't expect them to be correct about the human born through our church that we've tried desperately to make sure Mormons didn't understand was the one mighty and strong. And have had many scandals about it. It's Jesus! Nonetheless, those are the days and the hours. And so thus we know that this insert was by a Christian. Matthew was written before Christianity was created, before Jesus was created. Father does not mean Father, Trinity Father, nor does it mean non-Trinitarian Father, Mormons. You're doing the same thing Christians did, but you are more abominable. And so, but, after talking about heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. And then you remove verse 36 and go right to 37, so that you understand what it's really telling you. So let me repeat it again. Go back to verse 34. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled, i.e. prophecies. And he's giving you revelations. A prophet is no good prophesying without giving you the revelation days and hours. And if he give you revelation days and hours, they're no good either unless you have a prophecy to go with them. I'm getting a feeling. It's a spiritual witness feeling, so you need to validate my feelings. 8 April 2024. Yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to wait until it comes. Oh, look, I saw a dog and a cat living together. Oh, mass hysteria, it's the end of the world. My revelation came true. Just like a psychologist, just like a fortune teller in New Orleans. Which, by the way, the late night comedy jokes back when the one hit during Obama was that they didn't see it coming. The weather girls did, at least a week in advance. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. They will be fulfilled. So, all we have left, the fall of the great and abominable church and an exodus to Zion. That's it. Everything else has been fulfilled. Everything. All Jewish scriptures have been fulfilled. The Book of Mormon, Joseph Smith, all fulfilled, except for the fall of the great and abominable church and an exodus to Zion. That's it. That's all. So I was expecting Idaho Chick to be the only family to carry on the human race. So, with that context in mind, then says, but as the days of Noah, which is Noah, everybody knows this, shouldn't be confusing. Oh, this is some other character missing scripture. He's referring to the author of Genesis. So also the coming of the Son of Man be. Who's he? Jesus was asked by his disciples, when are you coming again? You're right here, but when are you coming again? And he says, Son of Man, 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 Son of Man. The only other person to say the Son of Man is Ezekiel, calling himself Son of Man, the one mighty and strong. God, strength of God, Ezekiel. And so it was Christians who turned this into literal history, when obviously the author of Matthew is talking about prophecies and revelations of the Jewish Christ, the human parents. No special blood, no magical powers, no supernatural stuff. Human, like everybody else on earth. For as in the days of Noah, as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark. And I did the Gazelem video for Stanford, in which the ark is likewise symbolic of the stone, of those who are authorized to read it, the Gazelem, Joseph Smith, and it's also talking about me. If you hadn't caught on, I already told you it's me. I'm the only one who is a prophet, seer, revelator, and translator. I told you I consulted my Urim and Thummim. That was another video that I had planned, was to go over that. Where is it? Normalizing corruption, Utah's porn addiction, Psychos preying on the weak. Where are you? Ah, yeah, here it is. apostleship with keys of Moses. And then another video about no speaking by my part. It's just a picture video for you to look at of these are the Mormon Latter Days, going over Thomas B. Marsh's warning about the Danites, Joseph Fielding Smith Sr.'s warning of the Danites, Hinckley's video saying we're all going to die, McConkey's video says there's no guarantee Mormons are going to survive. It's going to be nuclear. And Monson's statement back in 2015 saying these are not the latter days. Move along, nothing to see here. Go away. Then, of course, Nelson's 3 videos saying that it's the latter days. Chad Daybell was right, but not right. Okay. And so, Mormons knew not until the flood came and took them all away, so that also the coming of the Son of Man be. And YouTube has fulfilled that prophecy by being evil. And so by being fulfillers of the scriptures, they like to think that they'll be celestialized, just like Lucifer. I was only doing that which has been done on other worlds. If thou punish me for doing the same thing which has been done on other worlds, I will take the bodies thou createst for Adam and Eve, and they shall take the... Oh my God, I messed it up. I shall take the Spirit. Oh my God. I've got to go through the whole thing again to make sure I got it right, because it's associative memory, not memorization. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's like the preamble. I always miss out that one line. And it had to do national defense, something like that. Secure the national... I can't... There's a brain freeze in my associative memory for that, but I remember it. I remember standing before Mrs. Sampika, who was grading me on my memorization ability of the preamble, and I botched it. That one line. And secure the national defense? Something like that. It didn't click. So stressful. Okay, and then they go on to talking about 2 are in the field, 1 gets taken, the other is left behind. And thus the movie series by the one that the church put as the founder of the secret combination. It's been destroying America for the church. And then 2 women shall be grinding, 1 shall be taken, the other is left. It's right there, verse 41. Don't look at me like that. Which generation of teens changed that definition? It's not my fault. It's like Abinadi was scourged by the changed definition. No, he wasn't. Quit changing definitions. Stop it. And so then verse 42 needs to be removed. Watch therefore, for you know not the hour when the Lord cometh. And he plasters it all over the place. Dear God. Because again, 44, therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh. Everybody knew back in 2017. Dear God. It just keeps on going into 25. Come on. And so, what picture is next here? So the great flood, which according to the Bible wiped out the world. And that's why it was put in Matthew, because it's a symbol prophecy of the latter days. And they said it's not going to be a flood anymore, it's going to be a burning. But we had that, didn't we? On 9th Ave, we had the flood on the altar of the god Yah from Kings, 1 Kings. It was 1 Kings also, wasn't it? Interesting. Water on altar. No. Search. Or water. Water on the altar. Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, 1 Kings 18, yeah. 1 Kings 18, interesting. This is 1 Kings 12. 1 Kings 18, Elijah, after the priests of Baal failed to have Jesus show on 8 April 2024, and the completion of the temple for him to suddenly come to, right, Nelson? On 9th Ave of the Jewish calendar, the big day when both temples were destroyed, first by Islam and then by Christians. Babylon would go on to produce Islam. Rome would go on to produce Christians. That's why they hate the Jews. That's why they're like Lamanites to the Nephites. They believe they're supposed to rule. No. And so the god Yah takes over at the sun god at noonday time and pours water all over the altar. So on 9/11 or 9th Ave, oops, it leaked. We had the rain here in Utah. At the beginning and at the end. It was awesome. Oops, I did it again. And so, then fire. 9/11. See, 9th Ave is the 9/11 of the Babylonian calendar. So the two 9/11s this year was the fulfillment of 1 Kings 18. So here we come, 1 Kings chapter 12. But wait, there's more. Okay, and so I'm having difficulty finding where and when. They don't quite say, and I have to see if I can find it in Genesis, but they don't say it. They just say that it was the month believed to have been when it happened. But there's some other interesting stuff, and this is how I found out. Was on the 15th, King Jeroboam's alternative feast of Sukkot for the people of the northern kingdom. So yes, those who can endure me to the end will hear the bombshell of this. It was so cool. Mormons fear and tremble. So on the 12th is the assassination of Yitzhak Rabin. And here's for you, Idaho chick, 11th, in 1553 BCE, is the death of Rachel, giving birth to Benjamin. '17th, the first temple is completed, not inaugurated until the following Tishri, according to the Jews. This is not literal history. It was built before then. They say circa 960. No. If you've watched my videos, you know when it was created. It was before the Philistines arrived in the 1300 BCE. And so after 1450, when Armageddon happened and the sun god at noonday came to the mountaintop of Salem in the midst of that war. You're missing out on too many videos, guys. The video I did this morning. If you're all of a sudden new, yeah, blame YouTube. There's too much information and factual stuff that you've missed. Blame YouTube. And 23rd is the Hasmonean Holy Day, commemorating the removal from the Holy Temple of altar stones which were defiled by the bacon of the Greeks. You can be big dupe. And that's on the last day, the 23rd. Last day, that has significance. So in case I forget, remember instead, that is literal history. 164 BCE, not circa. You can see the circas are where they're guessing because they don't know. They got punked by Constantine, turning it into literal history. And so 11, you have circa 2105 BCE. Methuselah dies at age 969. No. The death of Rachel. And then the first temple completed, and are all because of Constantine's turning it into literal history. And it's the Rambam who designated the particular dates, which is why they're converting it the way they're doing. And it's not that Augustine, the Bishop Augustine, something like that, who was the one who, taken off from the first creed of Christianity, that it's literal history, went through and came up with the date of 4004 BCE for when Adam and Eve fell. No. Okay. And so, I think we go to Kings now, don't we? Don't you think your girlfriend is hot like me? It just appeared in my mind. I don't know why. Weird. And I can't get rid of it now. Because I'm going on the lyrics. Freak like me, and who sings that? I have no idea. I know the song though, obviously. Okay. So, yeah, we've already done the videos for you, because if you hadn't caught on, I'm the only one teaching you about the Jews. Nobody else is able to teach you this stuff because the Jews got corrupted by Christianity. as I just demonstrated. And so, yes, we are literally going over everything for you, and it's too late for you to catch up. And it's already 45 minutes into the video, as we're not done yet. Nelson's getting better. So let's just go to 1 Kings. Oh God. Oh, right. That's what I intended to do while I was listening to the previous video. Was check on the spellings of Rehoboam and Jeroboam. We can still do that, assuming that Google Chrome will not allow terrorist attacks. Maybe they're thinking that I already did my video for the day and they're not expecting this. Surprise! Here's Johnny. She did it for Johnny. Who's Johnny? There's this geeky kid in class. Awesome song. Everybody run. That helped get rid of the other song. So 23 is Rehoboam. Ooh, I see the name of God. But the word of God came unto the name of God, the man of God, saying, the Jews make the best comedians ever. Just hilarious. Yep. God's word, the Elohim of God. Ooh, no, it's the name of the Son, Yah. Oh, whoops, this is not translated correctly, it's cooler. Oh, wow, didn't expect that one. Oh, wow. Yeah, how did you, I purposely botched that translation to diminish what that, oh wow. Verse 22, guys. And so those of you who are aware that I have posted the Paleo-Hebrew script decipherment on academia.edu. 1 Kings 12:22, I go to Blue Letter Bible, Westminster Leningrad Codex, the WLC. You see the Aramaic script, just transfer it to the Paleo-Hebrew script on Academia, and you can see why I'm going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over this. Wow. Okay, so Rehoboam, that's right. Rach. Baam. Okay. Interesting. Okay. And then Yaharabam. Where are you? Seeing Israel. Dear God, let God prevail. What the hell, Nelson? Huh. Yeah, it is different. Slightly. Boam. Interesting. So rock, Boam, and Yar, Boam. Jerusalem, Yar is added to Salem. So right there, that's the god Yah. And then you have Rabboam, the god of the sky or the heavens. Sky is a different Paleo-Hebrew letter. Interesting. Okay. Personal question satisfied. Alright. So we have to read from the beginning paragraph to get the context of 32 and 33, which is the alternate feast. Now this was written by a Jew from Judah, Qumran community. Is it though? We do need to check that. Again, I saw on the news that AI has murdered another teenager. See, I don't trust AI because I can't trust them. But they're talking about the oldest, well, they're talking about one from 895 called the Codex Carensis. It's got 1 Kings 20. The Aleppo Codex is 10th century for 1 Kings 20. Codex Leningradensis was from 1008. Also, they're all 1 Kings 20. And then Akbarkit, the palimpsest, contains verses 7 to 17 of 1 Kings 20 in Koine Greek. That's not what I'm looking for. 1 Kings overview by the Christian Ministries. So let's see if Wikipedia will give us the answer we're looking for. Because another Wikipedia thing, while I was doing the research on this, they were talking about the documentary hypothesis. It has been proven false. You need to dismiss it. You can't use it anymore. Hello? There it was all over that article on Wikipedia. See if I can find it in the Qumran documents, then that would indicate that that's when it was written. But if all we can do is go back to not giving us a date. Textual features. The standard Hebrew text of Kings presents an impossible chronology. Yeah, because it's not. It was Constantine. No duh. Give me the oldest document and I can explain it for you. Ooh, there's the Exodus from the first fall. Ooh, we got to have that picture. Possibly incorporate it in this video for you. Cool. Okay. Yeah, that could be our thumbnail picture. Let's see. And so they give the one example of the chronology problems. Omri's ascension to the throne of the kingdom of Israel is dated to the 31st year of Asa of Judah. Meanwhile, the ascension of his predecessor, Zimri, who reigned for only a week, is dated to the 27th year of Asa. The Greek text corrects the impossibilities, but does not seem to represent an earlier version. It's not correcting it. It's exposing that it's not chronological. Hello? A large number of scholars have speculated to solve the difficulties. God. So yeah, we're not finding it. It seems like the AI is the oldest that we can, or the best that we have for the information. As a last result. So, after Christianity. But obviously, as I've confirmed, it is a legitimate document that needs to be kept because of the actual prophecies that have been fulfilled. And here we go with 1 Kings 12 in the coming day. Okay, so then Jeroboam, he's the king of Israel. Solomon dies. The brothers have a dispute as to who's going to rule the kingdom. Laman says it's me, and Nephi has proven that it's him. So Nephi has to flee to a new promised land, and Laman takes over and has his kingdom. So this is what we're dealing with here. There it is, the story of Laman and Nephi. Somebody's cooking breakfast at 10:46 in the morning. Interesting. Then Jeroboam built Shechem. Anybody remember Genesis and the rape of Dinah? The only girl of Jacob through Leah? Idaho chick knows. I pulled a guy thing on her, trying not to be blatantly guyish. And she's not speaking to me since. Because I made the comment about how it took Jacob 21 years to work for Laban in order to get the two wives. And she responded by subtly putting in 14 years. So I responded, quoting the Bible. It's 21. And now she's not speaking to me anymore. I just want somebody to play with. So lonely. So, 21 years. I've been through 2 failed marriages. The first one taught me to document every single second of my day. Every quote recorded. So yes, the Shechemites were the ones who were destroyed by the house of Israel over the rape of Dinah. But wait a minute. They're supposedly before this. What's Shechem still doing being around? There's another chronological oopsie. Okay? So Jeroboam built Shechem in Mount Ephraim. So this gives you a better context of Jewish prophecy. It's not literal history. But these are the great and abominable church in the eyes of Judahites. And so Mount Ephraim. O Babylon, we bid thee farewell. We're going to the Mount Ephraim to dwell. It gets better. I told you you would be rewarded. The great and abominable church on Mount Ephraim. And dwelt therein, and went out from thence, and built the face of God, Penuel. Built the face of God. The Christus. It gets better. The great and abominable church are idol worshippers, building an idol god. But it gets better, because we have a pattern with the Exodus. All Jews have to do it. This author of Kings 12 is doing it. And Jeroboam said in his heart, now shall the kingdom return to the house of David. If this people go up to do sacrifice in the temple of the Lord at Jerusalem, then shall the heart of this people turn again unto their Lord, even unto Rehoboam king of Judah, and they shall kill me. If Mormons go to Zion to worship the sun god at noonday, Emmanuel, Mormons shall murder Nelson. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. And go again to the one who resurrects Joseph Smith's church. Religion. Temple rituals. Setting in order the temple. So one mighty and strong. Whereupon the king took counsel. On Thursdays. Here it is. Yep, the pictures have been updated. We're using them again. And so, just like Aaron, who makes a golden cow, because it can't be gold, that's too heavy. He makes 2 golden cows, and said unto the people, is it too much for you to go up to Jerusalem? Behold thy gods, because Jesus isn't good enough. O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. They fled the country. It's Brigham Young. Here it is. Pay attention. Verse 29. And he set one in the house of God, and the other he put in Dan of the Danites who were in the Mount Ephraim of the great and abominable church. Oh my God, these Jews are awesome. Oh, hilarious. And so the Jewish commentator steps in and says, and this thing became a sin. Just in case you didn't catch on. He coos the church and takes them with him to the mountains of Ephraim to dwell as idol god Jesus, and makes 2 golden cows. Which I probably should have. Oh my God. And one of them is in the Danite territory. Oh my God, hilarious. And so Samson, yes, is a Danite. Not a coinkydink. Born out of the Danites to save Mormons and go to Zion. Salem. Jerusalem. Like Jeroboam. The false prophet. And so, and he made an house of high places, and they didn't even bother to do a Hebrew on this. 31a is 2 Kings 17:29, but then for B, and made priests of the lowest of the people, TG, false priesthoods. They got that from the temple. I think they removed that, haven't they? I don't think they have that in there since Nelson changed it. This is an emblem of my power and priesthoods. Huh. Okay. Didn't quite explain what that's all about, because it's nowhere in scriptures. Brigham. And so yes, he's not authorized to be king, doesn't have the keys of Moses, and he's creating an idol worshiping religion. Right, Nelson? And so all of the priests are by his thing, and they're of the Danites, which were not of the sons of Levi. So here's a continuation for you, Stanford. Sons of Levi. So upset. I had to do the podcast instead. So to see if I could still recover the video, it would take too long to test to make. Oh God! So it's a Zion project. Oh God! And so this is also the same thing with Moses that Joseph Smith talks about in section 84. He removed Moses from their midst and the holy priesthood also. And so here you have Jeroboam removing themselves from Joseph Smith and removing the priesthood, the high priesthood. And so the priesthood that they have is only the priesthood for planting seeds, but they don't even have that authority because that's Melchizedek priesthood authority. And so technically only Aaronic priesthood authority. That's the same type of thing it's talking about here. Lesser priests than the sons of Levi. Just like Aaron. He's of the Aaronic priesthood. The lesser priesthood. Same pattern match here. And Jeroboam ordained a feast in the 8th month. Here we go. 6 p.m. we start the new month. Thank you, Ducky. And on the 15th day of the month. So month is first, then day. Anybody remember that? Anybody been watching? But pay attention, there's a twist in the next verse. So we need to bring it up. It was for Alma 16 that we did this for you. And it would be this one. So, the 5 books claiming to be the books of Moses, though written by a separate Jew, have a linguistic pattern that is identifiable by whether they use the month first or the day first. Alma 16, I went over with you, uses day first, then month. So Genesis is month first. Exodus is day first. Leviticus is month first. Numbers is day first. And Deuteronomy is month first. So in 32, it's month first for Genesis, Leviticus, Deuteronomy. That's why he's referring to the Shechemites of Genesis. Okay? And Leviticus for the temple rituals, even though they're defiled, needing to be set in order. And Deuteronomy, the law of the Jews, about the actual Christ. So he says we need to restore it to the house of David. Okay? And so Exodus and Numbers are day. Exodus is the Exodus of tents, Sukkot, even Passover. But, it's on my picture. And the passage in Exodus talks about the Feast of Ingathering, tabernacles, Sukkot, tents, in Exodus. And Numbers, you got to number the house of Israel from the book of the law whose names are written. Section 85, setting in order the temple, and apostates are not going to Zion. They're staying in the mountains of Ephraim of the Danites. This won't have it. It's the new picture I did. Just hilarious. Here we go. Exodus 34:22 talks about first Sukkot of Judah. And this is second Sukkot here. The great and abominable Nelson. Jeroboam. Hilarious. Okay? Like unto the feast that is in Judah. What's the replacement? 24th of July, 1847. Talking about the coup to restore America to the kingdom of Brigham. So he did in Bethel, sacrificing unto the calves, pay attention, that he had made. And he placed in Bethel, the house of God, the temple, the priests of the high places which he had made. That's where they met every Thursday until 2020. Or 2018, sorry, when they began the construction project. They moved it to the administration building. So he offered upon the altar, which he had made in the house of God, the temple, the 15th day of the 8th month. Flips it. Even in the month which he had devised of his own heart, and ordained a feast unto the children of Israel. And he offered upon the altar and burnt incense. Hilarious. This is awesome. Scripture study is fun. And so let's go over the signs in the heavens for you. So the full moon is in the afternoon, is when it begins, around 3 p.m. on the 15th. And so that evening at 6 p.m. in the Jewish calendar, which came from Babylon, is the first day of this Israel Sukkot that they don't acknowledge and did not have on their calendar. And it required me seeing Ducky's picture with the new moon below the number 1. To finally check, as I almost didn't. And then we wouldn't be doing this over hour-long video. Oh, I thought we were going on to 2. We're still doing the video. And so, the full moon has passed through the Lamb-Ram constellation of Aries, the sacrificial Ram-Lamb. Full moon in the sacrificial constellation. I see falling stars all over the place too. And it's now in the Cow. The Taurus Bull constellation to start it off with. Just according to the prophecy. Those Jews are awesome. This is what it is. He's indicating that this is the tabernacles, not last month. This, the alternative one, the Aaron one. Oh my God. Why didn't the Jews tell me? Why didn't you tell me? Okay, so Jupiter's still there between the horns. He's retrograding for a pregnancy period, remember? And so, the sun is getting judged. It's the end of the world. We're all going to die. See, this is after the election. We're already knowing what's happening. Bloodbath. The United States of America will fall. 3 Nephi chapter 7. And so, this is the Mulek version. Those who stayed behind did not go with Lehi to the promised land, which was the Judah tabernacles. So those who stay behind and left with Mulek are the Israel tabernacles. Even though Lehi was the Israelite and Mulek was the Judahite, but Babylonian son. And so, very fascinating here of what we are about to come across. because America will fall. It's a question of how quickly it will fall. I'm already seeing the news interviewing MAGA who are saying they're all drooling and excited for January 6th if Harris wins. They are already talking about the backup plan. It's already being scandalized before the actual day. People are doing early voting. People are already being threatened not to vote. Votes are being destroyed and burned and lost and damaged. And violence is broken out. And I warn you, the Book of Mormon warned you, the Bible warned you, Joseph Smith warned you, and Mormons are still sitting back on their couches worshiping idol god Jesus, waiting for his coming, because Nelson said he's coming finally. He didn't give us a date, he just said in a coming day. You can't do that, Nelson. If you're going to give a prophecy, you got to give a day and hour so that we can judge you. Oopsies. And so this sets it up. So, on the first day, yep, it's right there in conjunction with Jupiter. And a whole bunch of stones being cast by David at Goliath. With the full moon in effect. And then it's at the top of the horns on the second day. The moon is now in Gemini on the third day. The sun during all this time is being judged. And so it's possible that this is the... Because, like I said, the fall of the church has to happen before Mormons are compelled to believe. They're not going to believe. They're not listening anymore. They're already pissed with my pretty pictures, newly created. I'm not being faith promoting to the lie of the Danites of the Mount of Ephraim. Hilarious. And so they will not believe until this church falls and they have no one to lead them. Except you're going to have a whole bunch of Mormons step up and say, I'm the one to lead you. I have no knowledge of the subject matter, but I was a mission president, I was a stake president, I was a temple president, I was a member of the General 70, I was a regular 70 of the 8 quorums, or is it 15 now? The prophets have all fled, or are dead, but my dream still comes into play here on 9/11 with Irene. Not Nelson, not Oakes, not Holland, who are higher in rank than Irene. I wasn't expecting this, but the dream said 2 15s. I assumed Passover, because it too, and I taught you. But, 2 sockets. It's a tent dream, a Jewish tent dream for the Exodus. Here we go again. Crap. Triple overtime. And so, it follows the same pattern. That on the last day, on the 23rd, which is Saturday, it starts on Jewish Sabbath, it ends on Jewish Sabbath. Understand this. 7 days, 8 days. Same thing. 77, 88. The Hinckley dream. The Monson dream with tents. Only the man like Moses would have those kinds of dreams. And so, yeah, I hadn't put it away in the box yet, but this is the plans for the Exodus. So I guess we can put it back over there. It's back on. There has to be an order, otherwise bugs. If you remember those scriptures that I read to you explaining the first tabernacles. And there's going to be time required to get this going. The church has to fall. Mormons have to know about it. There has to be a transfer to me so that Mormons know about it. And then, being compelled to believe, but not forced, I've got it planned on how to set it all up for the Exodus. So that those who choose to come, rather than stay behind, get left behind, can come to Zion and help build it. But you got to follow the rules. You don't follow the rules, you think you're going to come and destroy Zion? No. You will not be welcome. You will be kicked out. The United States is going to fall into civil war, bloodbath, which will trigger World War III. The whole world will be in chaos. They will not let Harris win. And so, by the last day, we need to leave because of the Passover Exodus story. Finally, on the last day, at midnight, Pharaoh says you can go. That's irony. Fall of the church. Destroyed. Mormons are forced and compelled. And so whether it's the last day, which is the final day that I'm given it, to fit the pattern, which crap, we may end up going into December if we include this as the last day. There's only 30 days, so it would be the 23rd of December, Joseph Smith's birthday. Crap. Please do not make it go that far. And Hanukkah is in the final week, carries over into 2015. So it'd be after the 23rd. It would be like Christmas, I believe, or Boxing Day. Alright, Feast of Hanukkah, December 26th, Boxing Day. So technically Christmas Eve at 6 p.m. to January 2nd. Yep. So I don't want to give it 23rd December. I'm just gonna I already oh God, cannot do this to me again. Seriously, I'd given up, we're all doomed, and then boom, today. Things have to be going orderly and smoothly. We know the election will be intense warfare and thus chaos. Even here in Utah, there's already scandals galore here in Utah. And it's weird because everybody's going to vote for Trump, right, Mormon women? On the 21st, which is okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's with Nelson in the Beehive cluster of Cancer. So 6th day, which, oh my God, Judah the Lion, Utah, phonetically the same, and again, Jeroboam, Danites, the moon is at the mouth on the 6th day, and then the 7th day, that's it. It's technically the 8 days, but oh my goodness, would we count the 6th? Unbelievable. So yeah, technically the 7th is right there at the star Regulus in Leo, the king star, and then the seed at the end for the house of Israel. And so for that, we then conclude with Joseph Smith, Doctrine and Covenants, section 103, verse 15 to 18. Behold, I say unto you, the redemption of Zion must needs come by power. Therefore I will raise up seed egg baby from Deuteronomy 18:15 unto Mormons, amen, who shall lead Mormons like as Moses, the Jewish Christ, led the children of Israel. Seed of the house of Israel, for ye are the children of Israel, the seed of Abraham. That's when it finishes. You must be led out of bondage by power. Even so shall the redemption of Zion be. Keep thinking it's almost over, and then he extends it. Stop it. As I put in the title of the video, it then flashed into my head about my family. I am born under the prophesied date for the Jewish Mormon Christ, March 17th, 1970. The rest of my 3 main siblings, Tabitha does not count, she was 17 years later. She was born in June, I believe. They've cast me out from the family. As with my mom dying on 12/21/21, as I've done those videos, my brother was threatened by the church last year after I got freed from my bondage of Gail Miller's concentration camp of hell of human trafficking and got this apartment. My brother was ordered by the church to attack me, to ruin me and shut me down and silence me, or he was going to be fired from his church job. And his lawyer telling me this, I then said, "Excuse me? your client told you he was threatened by the church to silence and shut me down and hurt me, and you're going through with it rather than helping your client against the one who actually committed the crime against them. Yeah, well, anyway. My mom specifically wanted those 3 kids to be born at the same time, to make it easier for her for birthday parties, which failed miserably. She had to have separate birthday parties anyway. Rather than just one big one to celebrate all 3 of them. And then there was me factored into the equation too. So yeah, she botched it big time, thinking she knew better, and the consequences shown that she was wrong. And so we would have to go back, I guess, because the first was the last, and the last is the first. Todd was on the 24th of November. Tiffany is on the 22nd of November. Tara Lynn is on the 17th of November. And so the 16th is the first day, 23rd is the last day. So they all fit within that tabernacles frame, except for Todd, who's the day after. My brother, Rehoboam. Saying what's going on here? I do. Interesting. So yes, my mom is named Judy for Judah. She betrayed me. Fulfilling prophecy. The wife's name of Esau. So yep, it's all fitting into place now. So yeah, this is extra thing for those who endured me to the end.